they're some of the most dynamic, dazzling, jaw-dropping displays in nature.
It's these rocket ships and explosions of sparks and spewing of what looks like blue smoke. And these long chains look like Japanese lanterns extending off into the distance as far as you can see. It's magic.
Some flash, some sparkle. Others simply glow. But most we're only beginning to discover.
Suddenly we recognize it, and now we find it everywhere under there.
Hidden in the deepest, darkest, most remote stretches of our planet, these luminous critters can be timid performers. But the closer we look, the more we realize the light they create is pervasive.
If it wasn't important to the organisms, you wouldn't see it all over the Tree of Life.
Now, scientists are thrusting these cryptic creatures and their fantastical displays into the limelight. Some are even attempting to harness this light, co-opting millions of years of evolution for the betterment of our own dim species.
We have to go down to the ocean to find these animals that give off light so we could then understand ourselves. To me, it's a beautiful connection.
We're shedding light on the creatures of light. Right now, on this NOVA National Geographic Special.
Major funding for NOVA is provided by the following. The David H. Koch Fund for Science, supporting NOVA and promoting public understanding of science. And the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
It's one of life's essential ingredients. We soak up its energy, set our clocks by it, need it to see. Light is so precious to us humans, we've coaxed it into lasting all night long. But imagine a world without it. While we're cursing the darkness, countless thousands of other species have evolved a much brighter response without burning an ounce of fossil fuel. It's called bioluminescence, living light. And from glowworms and fireflies to plankton and jellyfish, it's been lighting up the dark for hundreds of millions of years.
If you look across the Tree of Life, essentially, bioluminescence is splattered all over it.
It's just everywhere you look. How to survive in the dark? Make light.
On land, where it's dark only at night, just a fraction of creatures evolved the gift of glow. But descend into the deepest depths of the oceans, where the bulk of Earth's creatures reside, and you find a very different story. Down here, as many as 90% of life forms shine.
I'm going to come off the wall and head out into open water.
Surface, this is Nadir. Our present depth is approaching 100 meters. Life support, okay.
That's why a team of scientists from New York's American Museum of Natural History is here, plying the dark waters of the South Pacific Ocean in search of new luminescent creatures.
I'm going to start motoring away here.
They've journeyed to the other side of the world, to the pristine and remote waters of the Solomon Islands, to unravel how and why light-producing animals evolved, and perhaps put their living light to work for us. David Gruber is a marine biologist.
After about 100 meters in the ocean, you will get into this twilight zone. About 1% of the light makes it down. So as we start getting deeper, you'll start seeing almost everybody down here. Every fish that we see has this ability to blink or flash or communicate, producing its own light.
The problem is, common as bioluminescence may be down here, it's challenging to study, even with a submersible. The water is too dark. The distances are too great. And the light the animals give off is too unpredictable. It's a tough environment for marine biologists to work in. But a neuroscientist like Vincent Peerybone feels especially out of his depth.
I'm a scientist that spends most of his time in a laboratory, so it's very scary, to be completely honest with you. You gotta keep your head and your wits about you and try to focus on what the job is and not really think about the fact that there's, you know, a few tons of water on top of us at the moment. So, but we're here in the name of science, so we press on.
Ooh, that's siphonophore.
One goal for this trip is to develop a better low-light camera. Deep-sea bioluminescence has only been filmed in the wild a handful of times. Most of what we know comes from observing animals in carefully lit tanks on the surface. Whether it's the infamous anglerfish with its luminous lure, or the light-packed viperfish, one of the deep's most ferocious predators, scientists typically collect them in small trawl nets, like these.
Bob, you're gonna turn around the net, right? All right, thanks.
They then examine their unique light-producing organs to infer how they work. That's what biologist John Sparks is trying to do with this viperfish. They may be fierce, but even the big ones are actually pretty small.
This is a monster for these things. They're a bunch of different species. They're hard to tell apart. I mean, I've actually never seen one that big. We still know so little. That's what's kind of frustrating.